I'm in LA now. Originally from New York, but now I'm in LA. And
Yeah, you
you guys
train
are
at Zoo
both
Culture, right?
kind of.
You train at Zoo Culture, right?
Yeah, so equipment wise, I like it because it's basically like the Dragon's Lair in LA. They have the same setup, the same everything. I'm pretty sure the same person designed both. They have Prime, I believe, and Arsenal. So equipment wise, it's my best bet. Gold's Venice has a lot more equipment, but also a lot more people, right? So
Mhm.
it's a big gym, but there's gonna be a lot of people there, a lot of things going on, people filming the whole nine. So just to get like a more quiet, more personal gym, Zoo is as long as you don't come at like 12. If you go at 12 p.m., it's gonna be crazy. You're gonna have Larry pressing 200 pounds and then have people doing backflips somewhere, the whole nine. So
Yeah, yeah, I see the videos on YouTube.
yeah, you got people bench pressing motorcycles. You never know. So
It's like
if
crazy.
you if you go after like five, then you have powerlifters and bodybuilders. So then it works out perfectly.
Mhm.
You know, what gym you train at, Mo?
Oh, I'm here in Burlington, same as Robin. I train at Pure Muscle and Fitness as well.
Man, that's one of those gyms. I feel like everybody feels that way. Everybody feels like the grass is greener somewhere else, right? Like being
Yeah.
in New York, I'm like, I want to go to Gold's Venice and work out next to Flex Wheeler, and but then you get there, you're like, huh? I see a lot of Gym Shark kids and SARM goblins and stuff, but
They're everywhere though, like those people are everywhere.
Lots of tripods at Pure
Yeah.
Muscle and Fitness for
you
sure.
can't beat that.
But
What's
What's
up,
up,
Nate?
Nate?
yeah,
What's up, boys?
what up, Nate?
How we doing? Big
I don't
Mo,
think
looking large, bro.
Dude, I'm feeling
I don't
like
think I don't
Yo,
think me and Nate
is
ever
everybody
talk.
wearing gasp?
Oh,
Everybody's wearing gasp except for me. Hold on for a sec. I got my shirt.
you know what's up, obviously.
Yeah.
Hold on. Shit, Nate. But I've been knowing Nate for a while, but I don't think we've ever been on like a video or Zoom or anything like that before, right?
oh my God. Body thinks that probably I'm ducking him like so many times he's asked me, but every time he asked me, I was busy, I swear. I
No,
felt
you
so
get
bad.
You guys are
that. No, but yeah, I've been knowing Nate. I think since the first time I competed, I think the Easterns in I want
Yeah.
to say 2015.
I was say I knew you from the New York days, like right before you like left, I feel like. Because I remember you did what,
Yeah.
East in 2017?
Yeah, I did. I think
That was with Mike
25th.
that was with Christian, right? When he won the overall.
Oh yeah, he won that was the Atlantic States, and I want to say was that 17 or 16? Maybe 17.
Yeah, I think 17, but
I think yo yeah, because 16 was when I did the Brooklyn, and Vincenzo beat me.
oh yeah.
So that was the next year was 17, and
When, when,
Salcido, yeah,
when was your last
Salcido
show,
was
Think,
sure.
baby?
think about that real quick. It's not like it used to be. Like you see how we're like naming off people like, oh yeah, compete with so
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so, that person, that person. It's like I feel like those days are like fading away. Like do we really know any up and coming like can you name like amateur bodybuilders like we used to or?
no, I think it's a little
If
drowned out by the classic physique guys, honestly.
I was just
Oh
gonna say, yeah, all of our classic physique classes are stacked. But the bodybuilders, there's not as many of them anymore.
don't get me wrong. We have like two or three usually really good ones in each class. You know what I mean? But then
Yeah.
it's sort of like
Man, I don't want to sound like the old guy, but it's inevitably we all end up sounding like the old guy. But it's like, imagine that, imagine a random local show in Brooklyn. Like we didn't even have contest pictures. Like it was like a little ghetto show in Brooklyn, and me and Vincenzo show up, and it's
Yeah.
like everybody like, what the fuck? So
right?
I'm coming in like, who's gonna beat me? Like this is a local
Yeah,
show in Brooklyn, and then Vincenzo pops up like, why are you doing this show, bro? Go do nationals. What are you doing?
right.
But that doesn't happen. If you do a local show now and you have a decent physique, no, you don't need no conditioning, you don't have a lot of mass, the good chance you're probably still gonna win overall, you know.
Yeah. There's a lot more
Um
shows now too, right? So it does get spread out a little bit. When was your last
yeah.
show, baby? When did you compete last?
I did USA's last year. I got
Okay.
fourth in the supers.
Yeah.
So Joe Palacios won that one. And
Yeah.
then if you guys know Janicki, Eric Janicki got second.
Yeah.
He actually looked really impressed. See, you never know how somebody's gonna translate because he does the influencer
Yeah.
thing. So you're like, I don't know. looks big. He looks great in the gym,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
He's
But
not like a
he looked
traditional
really
bodybuilder, right?
Yeah. I've seen him in person.
exactly.
He's pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah,
Eric
he's
is
pretty
pretty
solid.
big. Yeah. Yeah.
So
He was
I wasn't
like,
sure. Huh?
what was he on stage? Like 250?
Yeah, yeah. The lowest he got, because me and him are really good friends. We train at the same gym.
Oh, okay.
So he got as low as I think like 245, and then that wasn't the look they were going for, because just because your glutes and hamstrings are in doesn't mean that's your best look.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
it's weird to say, but honestly, if he would have bought that look, I think he would have done worse. I think he would have dropped, because he looked a little shriveled up. And then when he filled out, I think he got up as high as maybe low 250s. And granted, his glutes weren't in, his hams weren't in, but he looked better. He looked better. So
Yeah.
sometimes that's the trade-off. And I did the opposite. I'm like, I'm not gonna stop until my glutes and hams are in. I didn't even
Yeah.
carb up, and I just looked half the size that I look half my size. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So
When
that's
did you start working with Justin
You gotta
Compton?
experiment a little bit,
yeah. I mean, yeah, you got to find the medium ground.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, Rob, yeah, with Justin, that was the first time. My first coach ever was John Reagan. Nate probably knows John
It's
Reagan.
so funny.
Yeah.
He coached me too.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
I
He
didn't
coached
know
me.
that.
No
He
one,
coached a
no
lot of
one
people.
kids would know
See?
that name today, that's for sure.
No. Did you know? Did you know he passed away, Robin?
Oh no, I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, this was maybe. Did you know that, Nate?
No, I didn't. I just heard that.
I saw it on Facebook. I think it was his wife. This was maybe 3 years ago, maybe something like that. And I saw it and I was like, damn. But then I realized, I'm like, bro, this guy's been old for a long time. So how old was he?
Yeah.
I don't think
Right.
anybody's known.
I don't even know what
You
he
know?
looks like, man. He used to coach me for free, and we would just text. Yeah, I think he would Facebook message me, but I don't
Yeah.
even know if I remember what he looks like, to be honest. But yeah, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
He was Dallas's first coach, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
that's why I wanted to
he
work with him.
coached.
A lot of
He
team
coached some.
nationals.
Me too. Me too. Actually, it's funny you say that. But he worked with Nick Trigili at one point. He
Yeah.
got everybody big, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who's the other guy? What's the guy that has a supplement company?
yeah. I remember he used
The
to give
big
me
cat.
like
Jason, huh?
oats, quick oats and grape juice. Like that was like a post workout thing. He used to give me.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking
Jason,
uh,
weird. Weird. Yeah.
is that what you're talking about?
huh?
What's that?
Jason Huh?
I remember
What was
Jason.
that?
Yeah.
Are you thinking of Jason Huh?
Oh yeah. No, not Jason Hub, but
No.
I don't know why I can't remember the guy's name, man. It's a guy. He's like an East Coast area guy. Oh, Jeff Long. Jeff Long. I don't know
Oh
why
yeah,
he.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So he got him big. I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know if he coached Lavroni, but he helped Lavroni to some capacity or something like that.
Mhm.
And but he helped a lot of guys. Like you said, he wouldn't charge me. I literally tried to pay him before. I saw him at the gym. What's that gym? Coliseum. I think it's Coliseum Gym. And I tried to pay him, and he wouldn't take my money. And I'm like, huh. I wonder. He like Ed Connors, but a coach version. Like he would just
Yeah.
help people
Yeah.
because he just wanted to help people.
Yeah.
So he would
So
the
How,
the the
how
the
crazy
number
was
one
the
thing,
cycle?
huh?
hey.
How crazy was the cycle?
Well, see, that's the thing. At the time, I didn't think it was crazy,
Yeah.
right? But in hindsight, I'm like, for like a 22-year-old, because I take less now, so technically it
Yeah.
was a lot, but it didn't,
It
at the
wasn't
time,
like crazy.
no, because as far as I know, like the level I was trying to get at, most of the national level guys were doing like a gram to a gram and a half of test, and then I don't know, 3 to 600 of whatever other compound, something like that. So that's what he had me do. So I'm like, oh, that seemed like a good cycle. But at
Yeah.
22, maybe you should be on less than that.
Yeah.
But what he taught me the most is eating, because at
Yeah.
that time I wasn't aware how much food it really took. I
Mhm.
was eating like 6 ounces of protein 3 times a day, and he
Yeah.
had me eating 12 ounces of protein 6 times a day. Oh
Yeah,
man,
he was high protein, high carb. That's what I remember. It's
yeah,
high protein, high carb. It was like not even that many fats.
I
yeah.
can't
No, I
do
don't think
high
he had any
protein,
fats.
man.
Pretty old
But
school.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
and
no,
it worked.
it's funny
I'm
too
sorry.
because
yeah, that was for sure.
I worked with Justin Compton as well. Actually, you probably didn't know that, but I worked with Justin
Mhm.
for 2019 for the New York Pro. So he coached me
Oh,
for that year for like my rookie season.
Yeah.
oh wow. No, I didn't even know that,
Yeah.
you know. Oh yeah, but that was the original the original question was how long when did I work with Justin?
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about
Oh,
that.
okay. So yeah, after John Reagan, I think it was 20 when I moved to LA, I did a show, I want to say 2018. I think 2018, 2019. Let's say 2018. And at that point, you know, I've always followed Justin. So I actually hit up Justin in like 2016. That's like my second show, maybe. And at the time, Justin was at his prime competing. You know,
Yeah.
they, I want
So
to work
he
with
didn't
you.
respond to you.
No, he actually did. But he obviously he got a lot of DMs on Facebook at the time, so it took a little while. But when he did, he was like, "Hey, bro, I'm really busy right now. I'm focused on my career. I could take your money and give you like a cookie cutter program, but that's not what I'm about. So I would rather not take you on as a client." And I was kind of hurt at the time, like, damn,
Mhm.
he don't want to take me on. But bro, that's the best thing because what if he just here, give me $200 and sends me some bullshit? That's what most people probably would have done,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, for sure.
But he was at a point where he was honest enough to be like, maybe someday when I'm doing
Yeah.
this more full time, I'll help you. And that's exactly
Yeah.
what he did. So when I hit him up in 2018, he was off the stage for like 2 years by then. So he was like cool, and he gave me a really good price as well. Like I'm sure a lot lower than he charges because I don't know if he remembered me or whatever the case is. He looked out for me, and I didn't have a lot of money in 2018. I had moved to LA. I didn't have a job, so I was training at LA Fitness. I was the first trainer at LA Fitness. Granted, I had a lot of clients at LA Fitness, but we're talking about I don't know $9 an hour or whatever the fuck they pay.
Yeah.
So he helped me out, and then I won the overall, believe it or not, at that show. And I wasn't a very structured bodybuilder at that point. I was one of those guys who literally hit him out like 12 weeks out, like get me in shape. That's what you don't want to do.
Right.
That's exactly what you don't want to do, you know.
Yeah.
So, but he got me in shape. I mean, Justin can get people in shape, you know. So
Yeah. Sure.
my issue is the balance, right? Of
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
full shred, you know. That's the tough part, you know.
Yeah. Definitely.
Nate always seems to be shredded and full. I've never seen Nate look flat or soft. He just gets it.
Yeah. I don't know. I tend to like retain muscle pretty well too, so I can diet hard and like I don't lose my, you know what I mean? Like I stay,
Hmm.
I don't
Pretty
really,
full.
Nate,
yeah.
I feel
Where,
like you're just very like um just like modest about your approach too. Like you don't do any like crazy stuff. Like you seem like confident in, like your plan and like you kind of like follow through with it. Like don't do any drastic with shit, like it seems, you know?
yeah, for sure. I think too, like I was talking about this with training too. I don't know what you guys think about this, but I think once you try something different, like you need to give it a full off season. You know what I mean? Like, so I just try to like stick to the same thing through the whole, you know what I mean? And I treat that as like the whole year, right? You know, and like whatever my approach is, I don't want to change throughout that whole off season because that's I feel like you need a sufficient amount of time to see if it works and like a full off season, you know what I mean, and a prep, and then to see like I don't know. That's how I always like to compare is like what was the stage look that last year versus this year, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think what Mo said is right on the head because Nate doesn't. It's like he's so even killed, right? He doesn't get way too fat, but he doesn't stay too lean off season, right? He say that this perfect pace. It's not like wow, he's been dieting 3 weeks and he's already shredded. It's like slowly, okay, he's starting to look okay. I see it, and then slowly but surely he keeps getting leaner, and then boom, he lands it. It's never anything drastic. He doesn't all of a sudden 2 weeks out he's fat and then he's shredded, you know. So I think everything seems to be so like basic and laid back. So there's not many hiccups when you're actually in shape and you didn't rush it. You know, he doesn't seem to do anything drastic, and I think that's the best way to go. You know,
I
whereas
will say like
sometimes. Mhm.
I was just gonna say like I tend to like respond like I'm lucky enough to I respond to any action like very well. So like anytime there's a change, like it's pretty so you know when you're coaching someone, it's like not all the time, like every time you give them a change, it's gonna work, right? Or it's
Mhm.
so easy. So like pretty much it's like my whole prep is like, okay, like 6 weeks out, I make progress off the same plan. Okay, we make a change. 6 weeks, 5 weeks, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Change. Okay, then it just keeps going. So I
Yeah,
will
yeah,
say my response is I still have to work just as hard, but like to get there, I guess is like a little bit more easier for me. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
gradual. Yeah.
I just feel like
like
I feel like, man, like you work hard, but you don't really announce the fact that you're working hard. I mean, I just saw you doing like a fucking 4.5 plate incline Smith, and you're not like, I mean, you're just doing that shit, you know. There's nothing fancy about it, like everybody's saying. I mean, I think that's great, man. It's the consistency, and like we were talking about, like even with like what you said about giving you a full off season to implement something and to see those changes. Like we were talking about whether I made like gains on my quads and stuff, and I was getting them ahead. So I just
Right.
measured them, and they're up 5 inches from when I started the off season, which
Damn.
is good. I mean, I'm happy with that, but it's just like you get in your head. But because I've been doing the same thing, like I was saying, like should I change things? Should I be, you know? But I've just been doing the same thing over and over again, and the results have been pretty good. But
You have to buy into it, right?
yeah, if you jump ship, you're looking for a new thing all the time. It's hard to really like stack that momentum on something.
I think a lot of pros and like top amateurs, we know this, but like for the people that are sort of newer, younger, I think can be a common trend. Obviously, we all coach people too. Like how many times you like have to break it down. Okay, why we don't need to change this. I'm not trying to like short sell you here, but we don't need to change
yeah,
3, 4
dude.
weeks, you know, like
This is like a once a week conversation, man.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
they almost try to pressure you into changing something. It's like, I mean, I could, but that's not the point.
Like,
Can I just
I
get a
really
new
want the best
workout?
results for you is all. I'm sorry. Like
Can we
Yeah.
change up this chest routine? I'm like, why? It's like, I just want to do something different. It's like,
Why?
how about you just get
you haven't
better
even
at
perfected
this?
Like
you
you
haven't
told
even
me your
perfected
goal, and
yeah.
this is I'm trying to get you there as fast as possible. Like, trust me. Like,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
if I wanted to make you go slower, I'd be changing shit up every week because you
Yeah.
never be able to get good at anything. You never be able to progress on anything, you know.
Right.
So it's like
They
you hired me
wanna.
because you trust me, but then yet you don't trust me.
Yeah. It's
It's
a
re-
coach hopper mentality, right? Because you start thinking, okay, well, this guy knows something that I don't know. Nate, how long have you been working with Andrew? Like 10 years, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you
Been a
know,
while.
like how long for
He's-
real though?
Honestly, we're coming up on 8 years.
Yeah,
So
that's
Damn.
see, so
yeah.
just
It
goes to
just
That's
show
what
works.
you.
people.
I mean, I was telling someone the other day, the reason why it works too is I always have Andrew like a little bit at like I look up to him no matter what because he's such a smart, intelligent guy. So it's easy to still be best friends with him and abide by his rules, right? Because I think when you get to like an even playing field or you think you're maybe know more than the person coaching you, that's when you run into issues, you know what I mean, with being friends with your coach so well.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
agree
Man,
with that. Yeah.
people think that the answer is always a new coach. Even pros do this, bro.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like no, Jansen knows something
Yeah.
that my coach doesn't know. He
Yeah.
has to. Hani is some Hani's doing with these guys. I don't know what it is.
The
It's some
mind
kind of
games.
formula.
Hani's mind games.
Yeah.
dude,
Yo,
when Blessing won with George Farah, how many people jumped to Farah all of a sudden, like out of
I
the blue?
know.
Like,
bro,
you guys are so predictable. Like,
It's hilarious.
nothing. You're not gonna get better. Or people tell me they're like, "Oh, boy, you're not pro yet." I'm like, "No, man." They're like, "Oh, bro, you know what you should do? You should hire this coach.
yeah,
Hire what's the guy? Boss of Outlaw. That's the guy now." And I'm
yeah,
like,
Yeah.
what? I'm like, it would literally take
yeah,
me longer if I switch coaches because they have to figure this shit out again.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
not how. But I can't lie. There was a point maybe in my early 20s. Well, I definitely thought there was some secrets that the pros knew that we didn't know. I'm like, Phil, I know Phil, he isn't just taking tests and EQ. Phil is doing something. Well, what you doing, Phil? There's
Yeah.
something he's doing there. But listen, we don't want to believe it. Phil is just better than us. Like nobody wants to believe that he's just that good.
Yeah,
he's,
yeah.
Yeah.
You
he's
still
that
get that
fucking
every now and
good.
then though. Like you'll have some guy coming in sick shape and then like the DMP rumors start up, or something like that,
Yeah,
or like he has like access to real IGF-1.
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
bro.
because of
We
Milos or
just
some shit. But
we
yeah,
just talked about that on the after podcast. Like we get off and we talk, and it's like the people who take DMP aren't the people you think, right? Because like the logic would be like the most shredded guy is the one doing it, or like the
Yeah.
biggest guy has to be on the highest doses. It's almost the opposite. It's like the
Yeah.
smallest guy is
yeah.
on the most gear,
I,
and then the
I
most
agree with
shredded,
that. Yeah. I definitely
bro.
agree with that. Yeah.
Because it takes hard
My
work to be the biggest. It takes hard work to be the leanest. And the people who are going to try to go for those extreme options to make things easier are the people who don't want to put in the work. So it's
boom.
oftentimes it's like the guy who's using DMP is not even in fucking shape because he tried to use the DMP and eat pizza every weekend, and the pizza fucked him.
Oh my
Bro.
God. Yeah. You're so right. I know two people personally that the one guy, he used DNP and just ate fucking what are those things? Like those fucking pig ear things, those like chips. What the
Oh,
fuck
pork
was that?
rinds.
Pork rinds. Yeah, dude. Like his
Ugh.
whole plan was to take DNP and eat pork rinds because it was low carb, so it was like a keto thing. I'm like, you're fucking insane. Another guy knew he went to the club, did party drugs and DNP. I'm like, bro, you're melting. Like you're actually melting. Like it was crazy. Yeah. I'm like,
That's
and but these
my
people, but these people never got in shape. They never
Yeah.
actually looked good. That's the whole thing.
no.
Yeah,
They just thought it was a
they thought
shortcut.
like that was gonna like be the secret and they could just do whatever they wanted still, but I'm sure you still died to some regard. Like
Yeah.
just
And
gonna
DMPs
pay.
for weak bitches, man.
Yeah.
What's up?
My most my DMP my most shredded client probably ever was a classic physique competitor, and he was peeled. He was so peeled. I'm like, this doesn't even look classic anymore. This just looks nasty, you know.
Yeah.
But then so he didn't do clean. He didn't do T3. Obviously, he didn't do DMP. But to the
Yeah.
point that after I had him doing 20 minutes cardio the whole prep. After the show, he told me, bro, I didn't actually do the cardio, and I'm like, well, don't I guess don't fucking do the cardio. I don't know what to tell you, you know.
Sounds
So
right now. Yeah.
everybody would look at him and be like, "Oh, he must have did some crazy concoction." Where the truth is, he literally did nothing.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
trains hard, and he's a tall guy. Maybe I don't know, good metabolism. You know,
Genetics,
same
man.
with
Like I got this girl, she's doing her first show. I've been coaching her for a couple of years now, but she's young. She's completely natural. She's doing figures. She's like 16 weeks out. She looks like she was like 3 weeks out, right?
yeah,
Like 23, 24 years old or something. And then it's
Mhm.
like other people you get that have been training for years. And not to mention, this girl's eating like 200 grams of carbs a day, right? And then you get like these other people who have been training for years, have all this muscle, and you still got to pull them down to like
Yeah,
1,000 calories a day for like a point in time and like a bunch of cardio just to get that like last little bit of condition, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, massive genetic factor.
If you go by that logic, right? The more drugs. So let's say I'm on 1,200 tests. Well, that would have to mean Nate is on 1,600. Well,
He
then I
probably
guess
is.
what
He probably fucking is,
I
yeah.
guess I guess Carlos Thomas is on 2 grams, or the Nick Walker must be on 3 grams. Neckzilla
Come on,
4.
four. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did it stop? Okay, Big Rammy 5. Where did it
right.
stop? Anytime there's somebody bigger, he just did more. And it's like, but the guy saying this and taking 5 grams is the guy at LA Fitness.
Yeah.
That
Because the reality is the guy that has the better genetics can get more out of taking less. So he really doesn't need to take more.
no.
Right?
There was an episode early on the podcast I do, right? At that point, we hadn't really talked about gear much within each other, and I literally went around and guessed their cycles. You know how I did it? Because we all kind of do the same shit. Like I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
let me guess a gram to a gram and a half for the same shit. Even with the food, I said, let me guess 8 to 10 ounces of chicken breast, and it was pretty spot on because literally our differences on these podcasts is basically our genetics. I guess our discipline to a point, but you get to you guys level, everybody has discipline. So it's really at that point, you're just looking at different genetics doing the same shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's really all you're looking at. You know,
Yeah.
like
It
it
is
is
true,
what it
man.
is.
Most pros I know are doing the same shit, same peptide, same amount of GH, same amount of gear, training 5 days a week, eating the same food. I mean, half of us up here got the same coach. Like,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I think it comes down to, the guys who obviously like because there's discipline and then there's like discipline. Like, because like
Yeah.
there's guys who are perfect, but then every 3 or 4 weeks, maybe they're like falling off a little bit or like going partying or going on vacation and coming off their diet. And then there's some guys
Yeah.
that are just like, sick fucks that are just like 365 like the whole way through. And I do think that can make a difference, obviously, along with genetics. So, even at the pros, like, I think we're all right there, but there's definitely some guys that are doing a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like I would consider myself disciplined, but then when I talk to Nick, I feel like I'm lazy. I'm like a lazy bum at that point
Yeah.
because he takes it to a different level. He even called me lazy. He's like, honestly, when I hear you talk, sometimes I'm like, you're not working hard enough, and I'm almost offended. But then I'm like, well, yeah, I guess in comparison, right? Because he's not going on vacations and shit. Like, yes, he goes spend some time with his family for like a week, and he's still getting all his meals in, you know. Whereas I'm like, yeah, but when I went spend time with my family, I definitely wasn't on plan. I was like 50% on plan,
Yeah.
you know. So
It's a choice you have to make, right? It's like how bad do you really want it? And someone like Nick, they have such a high standard. So they expect other people to have a high standard like that. If your goal is to get to, the point where he is, then you have to work like that. You're not going to get to where he is by, doing any less. That's for sure.
No, especially being that he doesn't have like, natives from East Coast too. He didn't have these crazy genetics. It wasn't like, oh, that guy is going to be Mr. Olympia. It was like, that's a pretty big kid, but it wasn't anything special. So your genetics don't change. You don't have to go from having bad genetics, all of a sudden it turns good. He has the same genetics as that same kid. He just really outworked it. And not just saying it to sound good. I outwork everybody. He honestly did outwork everybody. That's why he got to that point. You know what I'm saying?
pretty
So,
crazy.
you
I mean,
know,
remember when like no one thought he was gonna be anything until he was a super, you know what I mean? Before that, like
yeah.
he was okay. I mean, he was placing at national shows, but it was like no one was like,
Yeah, I remember coming up when Nick was coming up because we were both like amateurs around the same time, and he was in the States, and like even like I put a wash on him, like this
yeah,
guy's probably not going to be much, like doesn't look like
right.
too
Yeah, it's
crazy.
pretty crazy.
And then in like 3 years, he's just like wins North Americans, like places top four, wins a pro show. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like shit.
I actually started following Nick from Boston Lloyd. Like Boston was promoting him, even though he was talking shit about him. He technically
Yeah,
he was promoting him. He was growing his following.
I think
Cause
me
I'm
too.
like,
Yeah,
I'm like, who's this Nick guy? And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, he's like Cankles. I'm like, I don't know. Those calves look good to me. It got some veins there. It looks okay to me, you know. And then I'm like, I actually this is pretty impressive. And I follow him, and then he kind of started taking off. You know what I'm saying? So
Nick has
you
sock mark on his ankles one day, Boston has to exploit that.
yeah, but it was like he won't turn pro, and then he lost to USA. He got second. Oh yeah, you see, the guy with the shape beat him. And then honestly, at that point, I was like, huh, because as far as we were concerned, we thought he was maxed out, right? It's funny to
Yeah,
say that now. I'm
yeah,
like, because I'm like, well, if he gets bigger, he might look worse.
yeah,
So how is he going to beat a guy like Zach Merkel?
right.
And lo and behold, his waist looks smaller. The bigger
Yeah,
he gets, he actually looks more aesthetic.
yeah,
It's not common. It's not very common.
Yeah, he
no,
changed
You
the game
know.
a little bit because he made us believe that it's actually possible to change your aesthetic somehow as
Yeah.
you grow. Because the whole thing used to be like, oh, like just everything gets bigger. Your waist has to get bigger if you get bigger. Obviously, that's not true, right?
No, no.
yeah.
So
One thing I caught also is his posing. I think he doesn't get that much credit for his posing because, his posing is not like fancy. It's not like sexy or some shit, but he knows how to present his physique in a way. If you watch his first show at Chicago, right, he lost off of posing.
yeah,
yeah,
The way he was posing, it made his waist look so much bigger. Not that his
right.
waist isn't big, but now it almost looks. I mean, the front double, back double, his waist actually looks tight, really tight. So he was pulling his waist up like a Nathan, but then he would lean back, which creates the opposite illusion. It makes your waist look, because you know how you're supposed to like bring your hips back to make it look smaller. He would
Yeah,
bring it forward like Jay Cutler. He would lean back, and his waist will look even wider,
yeah,
but
right.
long and wide, and then his legs will look short. So it's like that's not gonna work. So I think literally he got fourth only off opposing. I think he would have won that show if he presented himself like he does today
yeah, for
because
sure.
he was
Because
pure.
after that, I watched him do an interview where he was talking about Matt putting him through 45 minutes of rounds of posing after every single workout. I think that was, yeah, going into the Arnold before he won that. And I was pretty convinced at that point, once he said that he was going to take it because I don't think anybody is doing that much posing, you know?
Yeah,
Posing can literally move you up 2 to 4 spots,
Mhm.
and I realized that because also your posing changes as you get in shape because your leverages are changing. So the way
well,
I was hitting my, huh?
let me just chime in. Posing can
Uh,
also bring you down 2 or 3 spots.
110%. Yeah, no, no,
Yeah.
you're right. So the way I was so flat at USA. I did a show. I did the Cal. I want to say 7 weeks before the USA, and I was bursting full. So the way I was posing, it looked perfect. It worked perfectly for that look. Now I had this thing where on a back double, I was trying to pull a Bumstead. I was rounding my back and then squeezing my shoulder blades together, and it made it look dense. Now I come in flat. The moment I squeezed my shoulder blades together, it sunk in my upper back, and it just looked flat. Which I didn't know. I didn't know this because I never posed this flat before. Same for the front double. If I pull my hips back, my waist is already pretty small, but then it disappears. It looks like a wasp, right? So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pull my waist back. I was so flat that my legs Because when your adductors, when you pull your hips forward, your adductors pop out. It looks bigger. When you pull it back too far back, then now it disappears. So I had like this thigh gap now. This looked like
No.
horrible. Now my legs look tiny because they're already flat. So then I kind of exaggerated. I'm like, I'm really gonna have a small waist now. You know, granted, I did have the smallest waist on stage, but I also had the fucking smallest legs on stage as well. So posing can literally flip flop you. So you have to really, even a couple days out, as you're flat and filling out, keep posing so you can see what's going on. You know,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
need somebody to watch you. I was posing for myself. I coached myself for the USA's, so nobody was able to say, "Oh, whoa, don't do that." It was just me. You know.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of pros don't even pose that much. You can really see it between the difference between the winners and like you said, the guys that are kind of like straggling behind. Most of the time, if it's not genetics, it's posing. Even for me,
Yeah.
going from the New York to Toronto, I fixed a few things with my posing, and that was probably some of the reason why I had a better placing too. Because Phil Viz, he was like trying to get me to change it before New York, but it was like a day before, it was a little bit too late. But he really wanted me to like really like bend my knees more, and it just, at first I couldn't really get it, but then when I was able to do it for Toronto, it made a big difference. So just even like
Nice.
little things like that, even between shows, you can make a huge impact.
For sure.
Imagine you see how small like Keon or Derek Lunsford's waist are, right? You see how tiny it is.
Yeah.
Imagine if they try to pull like a Sean Roden and crunch down on it. It
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
look it wouldn't look the same. I'll tell you that, because whereas Sean looked great in that pose, everybody's different. Like the way Keon's ab structure is built, it's like kind of separated and like I don't know, it kind of has like a gap in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He flexes on it. It doesn't look good. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then Derek, similar, his ab structure is not that detailed. It doesn't have that 3D-ness to it. So them pulling up into the vacuum, they literally have the best front doubles in the entire game. Now they
Right.
hit it wrong. It doesn't look, you know what I'm saying?
They're
It
like
doesn't
the
look the
exact
same.
opposite of Nick, right? It's like the exact opposite of Nick. Like Nick is a way more detailed, harder, denser bodybuilder. So it's good for him to
Mhm.
crunch on the front double because it kind of shows his strengths and hides his weaknesses.
Mhm.
Where for Keon, it's like the exact opposite. Right.
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. I saw Bumstead as an amateur without the vacuum, and he doesn't have the best abs actually. But I never even noticed that. I'm like, huh, because he doesn't let you see it. If you think about it, he kind of always pulls the vacuum.
Yeah.
Do they hit abs and thighs in classic? 'Cause I don't remember seeing his abs.
They hit it. Yeah, they hit that pose, I think.
Do they in the
Oh yeah.
mandatories or
One
no?
of the poses, yeah.
No, no, I don't
Or
think
does he
so.
hit a does he hit a vacuum? Maybe he does a
I think he hits
vacuum.
his abs and then he pulls a vacuum after.
Okay, because once I saw that, I was like, huh, I don't think I've ever actually seen
I
Bumstead's
think he does
abs,
hit
but
him, but
that's
it's not for very long. He usually
quick.
goes back and forth to the vacuum, I feel like.
You see, some people don't like it because they say, well, isn't that cheating? Shouldn't you show the abs? I think it's all fair game. I think you show it the best way you can show it.
I agree. I
It's
agree with
all
that.
that's
Yeah, I agree with
that's
that.
part of the game.
On an
I'm not
abs
gonna
and
tell.
thighs, I would argue that you should show your abs flexed to
Yeah.
complete that pose, but to transition from the vacuum into the pose, I think is really nice to look at.
I agree with that.
But the way that Derek did his abs and thigh, he didn't flex his abs. So it's kind of like you're waiting for it and you're like, oh, he didn't do it.
Well,
You
I
know what I
will say
mean?
Yeah.
if a guy
Yeah.
is getting compared to another guy, and a guy has a great ab and thigh with his abs crunched, and the other guy has a great vacuum, then I'm giving it to the guy with the abs
Mhm.
crunched, honestly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna show
I
your
think
abs on
you
that pose.
should.
It's cool if you show your abs and go into a vacuum.
Yeah,
That's
you can go
fine.
back and forth.
I,
Yeah.
when I said like the vacuum thing, I was kind of like in other poses. Like do what you
Yeah.
want in other poses, but
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
the
yeah.
abs and thighs you have to show that. And I think
Yeah.
it should be abs and like one leg out. Like that's the pose.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
People fuck around with the ab and thighs so much. Like they do it sideways, they do it in like a normal like front relaxed stance, and there just needs to be the judges got to come down harder on that because it's like yes, like when you're doing a front double, crunch your abs or vacuum. That's like you're not changing the pose. You're just changing something you're
No.
doing with your muscle within the pose. But when you're actually changing the pose, it's not fair for like some guy to do a regular ab and thigh, and then you got like Hunter Labrada just showing his like, you know, side like ab muscles, right?
Yeah.
It's and it looks crazy and detailed, like like it's like do the
I
same
do
with
Well,
our
agree. Yeah.
how do
I
you
definitely
judge how
agree.
do you judge that against each other too, you know?
It's not the
You
same. It's
can't.
like judging a front double and a fucking front lat spread.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, the way I look at it in that case is if you're not hitting that mandatory pose, you can't win that pose. So even if you don't have a good front on abs and thigh, you might as well hit it like you should. So you have a fighting chance of getting a better placing than just being like, well, he didn't hit the pose, so you get lost in that pose.
Yeah, it would just be nice if they're a bit more consistent, because it's like even now in the front double, they don't want guys like flaring their leg on the front double. They want everyone like legs like straight up, like and but it's like, but then you let them change a pose.
Yeah.
It's like, you
Yeah.
can't flare your leg on the front double, but you can fucking spin sideways on the ab and thigh. Right? Yeah.
It's kind of hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard to judge when it's a different pose. You guys remember when Flex and Rolly both did it. Granted, I think Rolly couldn't actually hit when Rolly was full. I don't think he could hit a side tricep. So he would go like this.
I remember.
That that's a little different because he's still showing the side, and
Yeah.
if he physically can't do it, like I mean,
He's
you
trying
don't
with
have
his
a
little
choice.
partner.
He's trying his best, but
Yeah.
Flex Lewis, he would hit the front tricep. Remember,
Oh yeah.
like to try to
Oh,
find a picture of a side tricep from Flex after, like
I know the 212 guys were like giving him a hard time about that
they didn't
sometimes.
they didn't like that, but he has a good side leg. I don't know why he didn't hit the side tricep,
I don't know.
and he got a huge tricep.
It's just an
But
awkward pose, man. It just, I think it's honestly just maybe even just being lazy about practicing getting into that pose, because it's a hard pose to do when you're big. Let's face it. So if you're not working on getting it better, when it comes down to it, you're like, you know what? I'll just do what's easier.
yeah, well, yeah. Also, Flex had huge triceps, but he had a short torso.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, I'm sorry. He had a longer torso, but short arms. So it might be hard to think about that if you're like 5'5", short arms, big back, big triceps. It might be difficult to hit the
biggest
side
forearms, the biggest forearms in the world, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you still get a pass on the side tricep if you don't do because it's still a side tricep, it's not like, I mean, if you're doing a front tricep, something like that, then I think that wouldn't really count. But if it's still a side tricep, I mean, I'm okay with the variations of a side tricep for the most part. It's just the abs and thighs that bugs me sometimes.
You ever saw Jose Raymond hit a side tricep? He would throw his arm so hard and barely catch like one finger, and it would keep like slipping, and he tried to. It was like
That's so
but he
true.
tried.
That's so
He would
good.
try though.
Yeah.
And you could hear it clap. It would be like
You would hear the clap. You would hear him go clap, and he'll try to grab. But at least he was trying. He was like,
Oh,
"Fuck
that's
it."
Jose though. Jose is like an OG bodybuilder. Like he felt the same way, like poses, fucking poses. Right.
definitely.
I thought Jose could have won more shows. I thought he was fucking
He's
in
underrated.
person.
Super underrated. Yeah.
In person, he's probably top 3, like craziest, freakiest looking bodybuilder I've ever seen right in front of me.
He was the first pro I ever met, and he looked crazy. It was 2014. He looked insane.
I couldn't believe it. I think for me, I think maybe 2015. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. Rolly as well. He looked like an obese man in a hoodie. Looked like a complete obese guy. But his jaw was like he was chewing gum. Rolly had the jaw from here all the way down to here. Just the whole thing is flexing, and you just see striations. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So he's in shape. Only issue with that Rolly is when he's standing there on stage, not in a pose. He looks like he's 6 weeks out.
Yeah,
and then he hits that fucking most muscular, and then everything pops out. So him and Dexter beats him. Everybody like, how the fuck did Dexter just beat that? But Dexter just standing there, you can see every line and separation in his body. Whereas Rolly, you see nothing until he's in the pose. Another thing that you don't see sometimes in pictures is that Rolly was sweating like crazy, and he kept huffing and puffing. Like he bent over, and Steve was like, "You good? You good, Rolly? You're never gonna if you're fighting for first, you're not gonna win. The moment that you can no longer pose, I think you lost the show. You have to be able to pose.
You can't be bending over like in the lineup. Like you can't be like first call out and bending over and putting your hands on your knees. You know what I mean?
I thought Rolly was gonna beat Phil and maybe even win the Olympia in 2018 because he just looked so fucking good.
The year he got third.
He got third. Yeah,
dude. So
and that year he wasn't sweating.
No, he was really conditioned. That's why I was like, oh fuck, like everybody's in trouble. Yeah, and I was there in person too, so I saw him like at one point walking around, and I was like, holy fuck, like
Was that the same
the
year that
triceps.
he won the
Yeah.
Arnold Australia that year too, right?
Oh, that was an
He
S.
did.
Yeah.
He beat Dexter and Branch, right?
Yeah.
Dexter Branch.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crazy look.
His
I think-
triceps, like the triceps in the sweater, you could like see it bulging out. I'm like, that's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous.
Rose,
I think some genetically what was holding him back, some of the shape of some of his lower body parts,
Yeah, like
his
his quads
glutes
a
had
little bit. Yeah.
his quads were straight up and down, and they were big, but
Yeah.
they were straight up and down. Good teardrop, but he didn't have a sweep. And then the glutes had a weird short kind of, even if the glutes are in shape, they didn't look really
Didn't
good. It
flow
was kind of
very
like
well.
short.
Where do you
No,
guys where do you guys think he would place, like, in Olympia, like last Olympia, where do you think he'd be?
if he was like
as all time best?
Yeah, like if he came in like 2018, like compared to like a
Yeah.
Samson, you know what I mean? Like,
he could win.
I totally agree he could win. Yeah, I
He could
100%
win.
agree.
For
Like compared to
sure.
like a
Against
Derek,
guys.
because he's just so much bigger of a
He
man.
would make Derek look pretty fucking small, man. Like his thickness up, he would be the thickest, like biggest guy on stage. And if he brought that structure and condition,
Yeah.
I think he
The
would.
only question would be from the back, like how would he compare?
That's the only thing. That's the only.
Yeah.
That's
But he can't win on one pose though.
No, I know. Well,
it's.
yeah.
I think
It happened, but you shouldn't. It shouldn't happen.
I could see that look edging out Samson because I think he would look just as big as Samson.
And Samson's not
But
going to outcondition him either.
no, not at least not that year.
Yeah,
you
not that
know.
year. Not that.
I will say though, Samson's getting pretty conditioned right now. 4 weeks
Yeah,
out.
see him from the back, bro. Got to see him from the back.
Yeah, I know.
See the back and front.
Yeah.
Easy to look good from the front.
Yeah, I know.
Now with that same question, what about who else got competed that year? That was Rolly, Phil, and there was the Kai.
Sean won that year.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, Sean.
How does Sean do in this Olympia?
oh,
I think he could win too. I mean, Sean was so impressive,
Okay.
man. Like,
I don't know. I don't. It's funny to say that.
okay, well,
'Cause he-
Sean, I thought that he had extremely impressive quad sweep and waist. It was just his arms weren't quite as big. But
Sean-
let's say if he added just a little bit to bring up that aesthetic, I mean, Samson doesn't have the best bicep peak, I don't think Sean Roden had the best bicep peak either. But if he brought up his triceps a little bit, like, fuck, man, I don't know, the aesthetic factor, and he was really shredded too.
Good legs too. Really good legs.
Really good quad sweep, yeah.
With Sean, right? Like by himself, you see huge legs and great condition, but like his shoulders, arms, chest, it wouldn't look very impressive. But
Mhm.
if you throw him in a lineup, then you're like, huh, he's bigger than I thought. Because even next to Phil, he was wider than Phil. But you're like, I know Phil isn't the widest guy, but you wouldn't think Sean could keep up with him size wise. But then he kind of did, and you're like, huh, he doesn't. His upper body doesn't look that impressive because you're comparing it to his lower body. But in the lineup, it did hold his own. So when you got him next to guys who are 5'5", I think next to them he's gonna look a lot bigger than we would imagine.
Probably right.
Yeah, it's
Structurally.
so crazy because it's all just in your mind, but then when you see guys on stage together, like things change because the proportions change everything, right?
Structure, yeah. Size and structure go a long way, man.
Yeah,
That's why Samson's a dwarf in every show he does. Like even at the Olympia, even though he got third, man, he just looks like a different creature up there compared to everybody
Yeah.
else. It's insane, man.
The game has changed because you don't see as many, because the shorter guys seem to be ahead of the taller guys at this point, right? Where you got the top three. If you put Nick Walker back in there, which I think he would have been third. Third lowest probably. He possibly
Well,
could have been
Samson
higher.
beat him at the Arnold.
He did.
yeah.
But like,
they're a toss up. They're a toss up for sure. Those two guys for that third place spot. I think.
And again, it's like that changes up the dynamic because now you've got three short guys and a tall guy. Like, it's crazy, yeah.
it makes it weird. So that's why if you compare former guys who compete like a Kai Green, I think Kai would win in this lineup because he would be so shredded and so huge. I guess you depend which Kai, because Kai wasn't shredded every year.
The
He
waist,
was in
though, I
shape.
don't know. That waist might put him back now because now we're looking at
Good
guys
point.
with even smaller waist than before. I don't know.
I know. Does
Good
Kai
point.
Green's back double beat Derek Lunsford's back double?
I would say so. I think it beats everybody's period.
Kai Green's back is
I don't think anybody ever, well, except for Ronnie. I think Ronnie and Kai, it's like those are the best two back
Looks
then.
like the best Kai, like 2013, something like that.
2013 was nuts, man.
Can't
Nuts.
remember.
He should have won the Olympia that year, I think, honestly.
His
Yeah, that would've
closest.
been
I
cool.
think. Well, I think Derek's back poses might beat everybody as far as detail and shape. If we look at how crispy his glutes, hamstrings, and back are, and how his waist tapers, he might actually beat everybody. But
Yeah,
that's
you don't
not
mean, you
that's
don't mean Ronnie Coleman though.
well, in only but Ronnie's waist and taper like Derek does. I'm
Oh,
talking about only in taper,
I don't
only
know.
in shape and detail, right? Nothing
Only because
else,
of the
not
vacuum.
size.
Yeah. Only
Yeah,
because of
not
the
size.
vacuum.
Yeah, not size, thickness. Because if we talk about size, thickness, and detail, then I would go Ronnie and Phil. You know, but Derek's back isn't as dense as those guys. But I'm talking about if you look at his
Yeah.
waist taper and just detail, because his glutes and hams were so ridiculously peeled and his
Yeah.
back was so peeled, it was next level. But best backs, it's hard to say because if we talk about completeness versus, I think Phil's back is probably the most complete, but Ronnie's is the freakiest, right?
Yes,
From
yeah.
head to toe.
And even
The
even
issue,
Derek's though, like since you just mentioned Derek's back double, I mean, it is one of the best of all time too.
it is,
You got to
it
give
is.
credit where credit is due. Like that fucking pose won on the Olympia. I mean, it's a good pose. It's a really good pose.
It's hard to give credit in real time because when everybody was watching Phil, it was like, wow, this guy's great. But we didn't give him the same respect that we give him now because, while you're doing it, it's hard to give you your flowers.
Yeah.
Even Ronnie in his day, as great as he was, people were ready to see him lose already. It's like, his waist is big. We don't want to see that guy. But once they retire and you take a step back, you're like,
Damn.
I don't know. That guy was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So Ronnie also had a lot of different looks that you're like 98. If we talk about 98, well, maybe that detail and structure but actually beats Derek's detail and structure because Ronnie was all detail and structure at that point. It was ridiculous detail.
Yeah, he
But in
transformed a
03,
lot. Yeah.
but in 03, even anything after 2001, now we're not looking at the best
Yeah.
structure and detail. We're looking at just crazy mass and thickness, right?
Yeah.
So it's like which Ronnie do you talk about, right?
Mhm.
So
Smoking
even when I talk
condition,
about
like, ahead of
yeah,
everyone. It's crazy.
like if I was gonna put a Ronnie against the best Phil, I would use 98 Ronnie personally
Oh,
because a 2003 Ronnie he doesn't have the detail to go with Phil's detail at 03. Besides the glutes are pretty cool. So I would rather see 98 versus 2011.
it's funny how it's like both like their first Olympia wins,
Yeah.
you know.
both of them.
But then arguably some people would say 03 and 2013 because 2013 Phil was bigger, but
Yeah.
bigger isn't necessarily
That
they're
2011
not always
look was
better.
so polished, just
Yeah,
perfection. Like
there was somebody posted a Phil Heath. I think it was maybe 2015. It was like orange background. Did you guys see that? It was going viral. And I didn't realize how massive he was, bro. He was so fucking big. You don't think of Phil as a mass monster. You think
Yeah.
of him like a balanced guy.
yeah.
But he was so big that year. I don't even remember that year. I'm like that's insane.
He's the bubbliest of all time.
Yeah, he's the bubbliest.
You know, like the arms and everything is just a
Insane.
cartoon character.
I think what really separates the greatest like of all time, like in my opinion, it's Ronnie and Phil because of like how long they held the
think so.
title. Like it's like to win at that level consecutive years is like insanely hard.
Against all those guys, right? Like all those guys were quality guys.
And you talk about the other
Mhm.
top 9 guys in the world just like biting at your heels for 7 years for Phil, 8 years for
Yeah.
Ronnie, and just coming back
Yeah.
and smashing them year after year. Like think about how
Mhm.
hard like we're just trying to win a pro show. Like,
You know?
these guys are
Yeah.
defending Olympias every year, man. Like it's
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
That's it, man.
And
There's levels.
Yeah.
these wins were convincing. It
Yeah.
was convincing wins. Like as good of a bodybuilder as Kai is, was Kai's physique worthy of winning Olympia? Yes, but he never beat Phil at the Olympia. Like
Kai probably would have won 3 or 4 Olympias if Phil was never around.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the caliber of people that they were beating, in my eyes, convincingly. I thought Phil was beating Kai convincingly.
They're
Think
going
about that. Think about how
top
hungry Kai
quality
was.
guys, like some of the best
Yeah.
Dennis Wolf, like
Like Kai was a genetic freak
Like
that did
freak.
everything right. He
Everything right. He probably worked harder than you.
Yo, Justin. Yo, Justin.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Did the echo?
What's up?
Did the
Yeah,
echo?
you got the echo again. Yeah, you got the echo again.
Oh, I was like, I'm hearing the
Good
voice
now?
twice.
Justin always in the car.
I feel bad. I think you were waiting for a while, Justin. Something popped up and I didn't see that you joined, and I saw your text message. I'm like, oh fuck. We've been on for a while. How long were you waiting?
No, like 15 minutes maybe.
Okay. Not too bad.
Oh,
I
damn.
think we've been on for like 40,
I
45
was like at 30, 35. I was
Okay. Yeah, what's up?
I guess
Yeah.
you guys are under it.
Hey,
Yeah, we were just talking.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, hey Justin, who do you pick? 2011 Phil or 98 Ronnie? If you're a judge.
98 for sure, Ronnie.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think Ronnie at his best, I don't think anyone's touching him. But I
Okay.
do agree. I think Phil's a second for me for sure.
Mhm.
But Ronnie all the way. His best I think was in those days before he got like stupid, like humongous, where his midsection started to go. I think that's when his best look was for sure.
I feel like the judging criteria is a little different now, right? So if you was to take 03 Ronnie versus 2013 Phil, but in today's judging, I don't know if 03 Ronnie would win because I don't think they like that look as far as the waistline and the definition, all that, right?
It's a good
I don't know
point.
if
Yeah. I think you're right. I think
now,
the Phil would win.
yeah, I
I
mean
think
back
it would
then,
But then again, I'm talking shit because you have no idea.
yeah, we know
It's-
we,
it's
we
like-
can't say that shit.
I don't know how big Ronnie would look next to Phil also. Like
Yeah.
that size difference could be significant to the point where it's like, yeah, okay, the lines are like a little bit better, well, a lot better, let's say on Phil, but the size difference is so like drastic, like especially on the back double. And like I don't know, man, it's hard. It's hard until that you see these two guys together like on the same stage, and then we kind of see that in the pros also. Until you see guys next to each other, you can't really tell, man. It's crazy.
Exactly,
Sometimes you
That's
see
what we were
guys
just
online,
saying. That's what we were just
see
saying.
guys
It's true.
online, and then you see them on stage. You're like, holy shit, that guy's so much bigger than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's going to
You
be
would
when you
have-
step on stage. People are
Yeah,
going to be like,
well,
"Holy fuck, this
yeah.
guy is a monster." Yeah, Justin's really big.
How
I
tall?
don't
How
know,
tall
I
is
think-
Justin?
I think he
I'm
looks
tall.
the
I'm
part.
six.
He
I'm 6'3".
Yo,
doesn't look
I'm like
small on mine either.
What,
in the
Nate?
pic,
Said he doesn't look small on mine either.
No.
bro. In the pictures, I'm like, bro, is he 6'8"? Like, what am I looking at here?
Yeah, dude. He's
I'm
the
like, what the
biggest
fuck?
person you'll ever see in person in your life.
Yeah.
I bet, yeah, no,
I guarantee it.
I bet, man. But it's also harder to fill out your frame. Like, do you feel like it's been hard?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's not like now. I would say now I'm starting to look like a bodybuilder because before I was so like until you fill out the arms, the legs I already had like good legs, but especially my upper body, until you fill that out and fill all the gaps, like your arms are so long. So it just looks like until you see that person in person, you're like, okay, like there's holes everywhere, And now
Justin.
I'm starting to fill it out a little bit, but again, like I was telling the guys last week, that's why I'm not competing in 2024 because there's just no point getting on stage if I'm not going to be competitive, And I know that there's some gaps to be filled, and especially density wise, like I know that I need to like work on that and really pack on some meat now.
Justin, tell him how long you've been on cycle or been on PEDs.
2.5 years.
Yeah, like no.
How old are you?
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
How
Yeah,
old
well,
are you?
I competed for a while though, naturally, and then I couldn't fit the class anymore in classic. So then I had to switch to open, and then in open, obviously, I was like, well, there's no way I'm going to stay natural. So then that's when I got on.
Nice.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
That's insane.
You guys want to do some questions? We got a bunch of questions here.
Yeah.
What are your guys' favorite shoes to lift in? This is funny, eh, Baby? You want to go first?
Oh yeah, I think you already know what that is. Crocs, man. I fucking love
The Crocs, they're super comfortable, man. The
You
only
say
thing is I feel like there's no in between. People either love Crocs or they fucking hate it, bro. I literally get like hate messages about Crocs. I'm serious.
Yeah.
People send me hate DMs about Crocs. I'm like, what the fuck?
Why
Like,
do people care
oh,
so
are
much?
you gay? Why are you? I'm like, I'm gay. What are you talking about? What? You can't wear Crocs? What the fuck? But I mean,
I'm
yeah,
a
it's
hater. I'm a Crocs hater for sure. Sorry, dude. Can't help it, man. I can't help it.
Train legs.
I try to like them. I can't do it.
well, it's like because when it first came out, there was like nurses. There was like a nurse shoe. That was, it was
Yeah.
literally like a medical shoe or something people were wearing. So I could see like if that's the perspective you have on it, it's kind of weird. But it's different now. I think it's
You
just
train legs? Do you train legs in them?
Well, that's what I was asking
yeah.
him. What's the
Damn,
I
comfort of training with them?
squat in it. Yeah, squat in it, leg press in it, the whole night, lunges, the
crazy.
whole
I mean, you
thing,
squat a
man.
lot. You got to squat a lot of weight in those Crocs too, 5 or 6 plates or something like that. It's fucking pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I
when
it's
my
funny.
knees feel good.
I used to wear Crocs when I first started competing back in 2011, and everybody flamed me. My coach at the time, he was like a good life trainer. He's like, "Are you a fucking idiot? What are you doing with those?" It all comes full circle, but no, I really like wearing barefoot shoes. I don't know about you guys, but since I've been doing like different types of barefoot shoes, I tried Vivos. Those are okay. I don't really like how they look as much, but I started wearing a new brand. I really like this brand as well. So, what about you, Justin? What do you wear in the gym?
Depends what I train. If I train like just upper body, then I'll do like I'll have some right awares or something like that. But if I'm doing legs, then I have some Reeboks with like the heel, just to kind of like. But I only do it with quad when I do quads. So when I go for like hamstrings, I take the shoes off and I put something a little bit more flat.
Hmm,
But when I train quads, I just have a little bit of a heel, just to like pour more tension on the quad, basically.
sure. What about you, Nate? What do you wear?
I just wear Nike threes, honestly, and during legs, like I was just too lazy. I have like the Metcons and the squat shoes, and I just when you're in the off season, man, I just like hate changing shoes. And like when you have the knee sleeves on, you have to like take them off and all this stuff. I'm like, I can't really bend over that long, you know.
Yeah. Well, Mo, what do you wear?
Mostly like Jordans or Chucks. Converse a lot lately, especially in the winter, just because they're so easy to throw in my gym bag. Like they don't take up any space, and I wear because I wear boots to the gym, and I just want to change into something easy. But on leg day, where are they? I wear these.
Yeah, by the way, we have to wear boots in the
You
gym.
guys have probably all had a pair of these atomics, right?
Oh, those are
Oh,
comfort. Those are
yeah,
comfort.
I don't love wearing these, but they're the only thing that I can fit my orthotics in that's like comfortable for leg day. And I have worn my like custom orthotics on legs because my feet are super flat. The one time I tried to train quads with like Chucks on, I tore like my like plantar like muscle in
Oh
my foot,
no,
like on the bottom of my
man.
foot. So I now I wear the dorky Atomics shoes or Atomics or
My
whatever.
my my only issue with the
Atomics or right away. I can't do treadmill in it. I can't do like cardio in it because
No,
my feet
definitely.
hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're definitely not made for cardio. Definitely not.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, man.
I did it for years. I wore rider wears for the longest time, probably like 5 or 6 years. But I was like you, Mo, I would always put like insoles in them. And because if I wore them just flat, I would get like a lot of foot pain. But if I put the insoles in, I wouldn't. Um, but I stopped wearing insoles altogether because I've been doing a lot more like just training of the foot. And so now, because for me, I was replacing them like every maybe 4 months or so. Because I don't know about yours, but mine were like they would break down. It wasn't like a hard plastic piece.
Were they like custom made by like or like an
No,
orthotics?
they weren't custom made. They were just insoles that I would replace every like 4 months. But they were good posture insoles. They just
Yeah.
weren't custom made, but they were like $300. So I'm like, I don't know if I
That's
really need.
expensive for every
Yeah,
pair.
I'm like, I don't really know if I need this. I think it was just in my head.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Um, how do I keep my hematocrit low? What do you do, Nate?
Don't take steroids.
Don't take steroids.
That's gonna fuck up your
Nate, how are you keeping your hematocrit in range with that 1600 test you're taking?
Honestly, I never even have to. I would say donate blood, but I don't have to donate blood. It's always in range. I've always had, honestly, for some reason, my health markers are usually pretty good to go, man. I posted them once.
Needs
I
to
just
check.
have like good health markers. So I mean, yeah, we push it a little bit, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but I feel like I respond pretty well to it and I'm in a good spot. So
Do you guys donate blood regularly? Beatty,
Yeah,
do you donate? Justin?
No,
Yeah.
I don't donate at all. I kind of hate that Nate went before me because it's gonna definitely sound like I'm lying now, but but I don't donate blood at all. So at one point, my Compton at one point we had did a pretty hard offseason push, and he hadn't seen my blood work for maybe like a few months, and he was like, "You probably should donate blood just to be safe." And I went to donate blood, and I couldn't. They told me that my hemoglobin hematocrit was too low. I believe they told me,
Yeah,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
was like, "You sure?" I don't think that's possible. And they checked again. They were like, "Yeah, you can't." And I told Compton, he was like, "I've never heard a bodybuilder being low in the off-season push, but great, you don't have to donate blood then." And it's never been elevated since then. You know, if I'm being honest, the only thing that my cholesterol doesn't seem to budge either. The only thing that budges for me is my ALT, AST. My ALP is fine, but my AST, ALT does obviously it goes up in like prep or like deep in off season. Creatinine stays in range. Now it starts to get to the top of the range by end of prep, but I also believe that for whatever reason sometimes they have a different reference range for like black people, right? I heard that black people have naturally higher creatinine range, but mine is in range for everybody, not just black guys, but mine's is in range for
a
everybody.
white guy
So
health too.
I don't think any of us
yeah,
can like
White guy
confirm
healthy.
that.
White guy healthy.
I got white guy blood markers. So
Yeah.
for whatever reason, but also I'm somebody who like is naturally fat, I guess. So I don't need to push my body that hard to gain weight. So my food right now is maybe 4 to 4,500 calories. That might be a reason that I don't have to push myself that hard
Yeah.
with food. I don't know, maybe. So yeah, I don't really I
Yeah,
don't
I
have
will
done it blood
say
lately.
sometimes my HDL is a little low, you know what I mean? That one's a little bit hard sometimes to keep perfect. But like it's been like if I get to like 20, then I'm like, okay, I'll start doing something about it. But I think before that, I mean, whatever. I think it's like that's not too bad in my opinion. If you're running a cycle, at least, you know.
Yeah, I think
What
you
would
gotta
you
be
guys do,
reasonable
your
when you're
HDL?
non-physical with shit. Like you gotta give yourself a little bit of leeway, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mean, if you're like you can't expect to always have perfect blood work if you're a 250-pound plus bodybuilder. I just don't think that's
Yeah.
like realistic, especially if
Yeah.
you're going for.
Yeah, it's not reasonable to always try to keep it in range. So
You're gonna hold yourself back if you try to worry about that, like overthinking.
Yeah.
Stuff. You just need to like if things are getting bad, you take care of it. Obviously, like
Yeah.
Right.
How often are you checking your blood work, Justin?
By blood work, I try to go as soon as I start my before I start my cycle, and I'll go somewhere in between, like during when I'm at like my worst. I'll go check and see what like where the fluctuations are. But I donate blood like every 3 months, pretty much, because I also have like um even before I got on gear, my iron levels were really high. So I have to get I have like even before I got on gear, I was still giving blood, just so that my iron doesn't go too high. But yeah, no, in the for the blood work, I try to go like around my cycles basically. So I'll go before, during, and sometimes I'll go a little bit after. But usually it's mostly when I'll start my cycle again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you're going before, during, and after your cycle, you should be good to go.
Yeah,
For sure, what I know, it's weird because I've had low iron before. I've also had high iron before. I've had low hematocrit, high hematocrit.
yeah,
But when it was high for a while, what I found out was your red blood cells are going to turn over every 90 days. So if you're donating blood, if you have high hematocrit or some blood markers, RBCs or whatever, if you're donating every 3 months, you should be able to keep that in range pretty consistently. But yeah, that's only if you really need to.
You guys ever do baby aspirin?
yeah.
I used to. Yeah. Do you guys all take that now?
no,
I don't, but I wasn't sure. That
I
was
don't
still a
think-
thing.
I don't take it now, but John O'Regan had me doing the ephedra caffeine baby aspirin stack,
Yeah.
and it was supposed to
Yeah.
get you
Little
shredded.
ECA stack. Nice.
I've
BD,
done
BD, I think your mic is cutting out a bit.
Oh, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but it's not as loud as before.
Oh shit. Okay, let me figure something out.
It's all good though. What's the best way to help with tendonitis in your elbow? Nate, you ever get tendonitis when you're doing fucking 5-plate incline bench?
Yeah, right now, actually. No, so honestly, I've been working out my forearms more, and that's been helping me. And also I got like this little band that I put between my fingers and do like hand exercises, and that actually helps too, like with the tendonitis. And then obviously, I mean, I've been using elbow sleeves, that helps to keep it sort of at bay. And then just how you have your training program too makes a big difference, right? So for me, like I do have a little bit of tendonitis going on. If it's like a 1, maybe like a 0.5 just lingering. So the way I have my training set up is like I have the optimal time in between for pressing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have plenty of rest, and it's not really back to back with, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that
See,
way
I was trying to tell Mo, I'm like, why are you doing your fucking arm day after chest day, bro?
Me?
Yeah, remember when we worked out together, we did chest.
Dude, you were doing your arm day like before chest day. That makes way less sense.
No,
You burn out your triceps and then you
I
go do
wanted to
chest
do
one.
legs. I want to do chest, then legs, then arms. You
Yeah,
want
dude, I would do
chest, then
chest.
arms, then legs.
So I would do my back day, which I use my biceps on. Then I would do my chest day, which I use my triceps on. Obviously, I want those fresh for my main body parts. And then you finish the arms off afterwards.
Sure. Um,
It's
Um,
100% correct. That's the
I
right
mean,
way.
obviously getting body work done, I think, is crucial too, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't lift heavy enough.
You're gonna have a lot of like
I was
stuff
gonna
built
say
up.
that too. But
Yeah.
we don't go that heavy, so
I know I don't lift heavy enough to like get tendonitis. So
Like in your
I'm definitely
triceps,
lifting
like
4.5
I get a lot
plates.
of like junk built up in my triceps. So when he works on my triceps, that helps a lot, like relief in the elbow and like that bicep area. You know what I mean?
I used to get a lot of elbow tendonitis, especially in my left elbow, and it was so bad. And honestly, I think it was just from doing a lot of barbell movements. I would do a lot of barbell rows, a lot of barbell bands, just a lot of barbell
the free
movements.
weight is what's gonna do it to you, man. And like
Yeah, I think
skull
that's what it
crushers and
was.
shit like that. Skull
Yeah.
crushers will fuck you up. Yeah.
Like it's crazy because now I train up here and I feel like a pussy sometimes just doing more machines all the time. But I think I'm like, but actually I don't have any elbow pain at all, and I used to have a lot. So I mean, even that's I consider
I'll say this
positive.
about Pure. I do machines and cables only, sets of 15 to 20 on everything. And I'm the biggest I've ever been. So
Oh,
it's all good.
Right.
Uh,
Proof's in the pudding, baby.
What's that?
Said proof is in the pudding, baby.
that's it.
Monsters.
Speaking of pudding, is it beneficial to spike your insulin with dextrose post workout?
Yeah, why not? Do it. Carbs are
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't pick dextrose, but
Yeah.
Yeah, probably
if
just do like
you're,
rice or
if
something.
you're lean, yeah.
I'd pick waxy maize over dextrose.
Get that
I would,
carb 10, boy.
That's a good question. Back in the day when there was only dextrose and waxy maize, which one are you picking?
I would use back. I used wax maze before.
Oh hell
That's
yeah,
what I did. Yeah.
yeah.
I've done both, but at that time waxy maize was pretty expensive, so I would maybe get a bottle, and if the money was low, I would buy that huge dextrose from Now, the Now Nutrition, I think it was called, the orange one, orange and
Yeah.
purple, and it was all clumpy and shit, tasted like shit, but
Gives you
gotta
stomach
survive.
ache, gives you fucking stomach aches after and shit.
Gives you gas. You're gonna get the runs after.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta
The
make
John O'Regan special, you slam 10 IUs, you get 100 grams dextrose in.
But that like insulin for me kind of, anytime I push carbs or take insulin or both, man, I just gain too much weight and too much body fat. Even if my calories aren't that high, just doesn't go for me. Like my carbs stay pretty decent. Like it doesn't really go over 400 or 500 even at my biggest push. I don't do well with high carbs.
Yeah,
You know?
Crazy.
it's not
So you
always
get to-
necessary.
So you were like 300 pounds once, right?
Yeah, my whole offseason is me trying not to get to 300 pounds. That's my whole
So
goal.
like, so you would get to 300 pounds, like eating only 500 carbs or something?
Yeah, I'm 300 pounds currently, and my carbs
Great.
are about 450, maybe.
Oh, that's
And I keep pulling back slowly, and my weight isn't dropping. But I will say my waist is getting tighter. I posted a video today. If you notice, compared to a couple of weeks or months back, my waist has gotten a little bit tighter. It less bloated, but my
Yeah.
weight isn't really changing. Maybe 3-4 pounds. I'm just supposed to be fat, I guess. So I'm just battling not to be too fat. You
yeah.
know,
Right.
that's my whole mission at this point.
That's sort of rough, man.
I don't know, man. I'm doing 1,000 grams of carbs a day right now. That's
That
awesome.
sounds worse.
Yeah,
That sounds
I,
worse
I,
to me.
I promise you, it's worse.
Yeah.
I mean, who really wants to eat a bunch of rice and chicken breasts? That's not that appealing to me. I would
Yeah.
rather eat less food.
It's
I
fun
mean,
for like it's good. Like everyone's like when I say like how much I eat, everyone's like, "Oh, you're so lucky." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fun for like a day."
Yeah.
But every day I got to get up and eat like a loaf of sourdough bread, and I'm just like, first thing I wake, just like you get a lot of chewing, like you're sitting for like an hour. It's just a whole thing, man.
Yeah.
But
you remember Juan Morel when he would eat all those burgers and stuff? But
insane.
in the video, he would say that people say it must be nice to eat all this junk. He's like, bro, it's actually not actually not that fun because he's almost doing it out of necessity to hold his weight. If
Yeah.
you're doing it as like a binge post show, that tastes good.
I think
But
what
if
they
you
mean, I think what they mean is it must be nice to be able to do that. And then he lifts up his shirt and his abs are fucking
shredded,
flat and shredded, because
yeah,
after I would
yeah.
do something like that, I'd be bloated mess.
Oh
But
man,
just
I mean,
the ability to assimilate that amount of food and even just like the quantity and the variety of food to be able to absorb and digest all of that so effectively is like that's fucking genetically crazy, you know?
that's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, if I told you to pick your favorite food and eat that shit 5 times a day for a month, it wouldn't be your favorite food for very long.
Yeah, no.
You know.
What food would you pick? You had to pick one food. It's the only thing you could
Oh
eat.
man, I'll probably pick vagina.
That's
No,
the one
no,
thing you're never gonna get sick of, man.
Yeah.
no.
I wasn't
I
expecting
mean,
that.
I don't know, man. It's hard when you eat. Not that I eat a lot of food compared to you guys, but I don't really crave food because I've been eating for the last 10 years. Like
Yeah, I know. Even
I
like your
don't
cheat
know.
meals now are just like whatever.
How about this? What if you could just if you had to pick one food, you had to only eat that food, but you would still get all your nutritional values, all your macros to still make all the gains. But you got to pick that one food, just switch your entire plan over to it. Six
Five
times
times
a
a day,
day.
5 times a
Six,
day for a month.
yeah, 6 times a day for the whole prep.
One food.
One food only.
I think
you don't want too much flavor because too much flavor you get tired of that real quick. So it
Yeah, you
has to
know
be
what?
kind of mild.
I'm just gonna go with whitefish. That's simple. We pretty much do that anyways.
Really? I was thinking like corn pops or something.
Yeah, but you can only have that one food. You can't add milk to it, so you're fucked, bro.
Oh, bro, my mouth is
Your
gonna
mouth.
be fucked.
Can I say sushi? Is that allowed?
I guess so. Yeah, it's one food.
I wouldn't mind, some tuna rolls,
Yeah, but you can only have tuna rolls then. You just pick the tuna roll.
Oh, damn. I
I
don't
get
know.
I get sick of sushi halfway through my meal.
I'd still do that. I'd still do the roll for sure.
I don't know if I'll pick tuna roll. If that's the case, I got to pick something
Okay,
a
I
little more
changed mine to
nasty.
double cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
Yeah, you can do that.
that's more like
Every day though, bro.
Dude, I don't know. I like those a lot, man. Just like the small ones, like just like the regular like double cheeseburger, a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
of cheese ketchup on there. That's all you need.
That would be like the peak efficiency of bodybuilding. If you could just eat a burger every 2 hours and just it would have all your macros, especially a McDonald's burgers, that just goes right down smooth. Like no bloating, nothing, just like thin
You
air,
know
it's just
what, though?
gone.
If you did sourdough bread with like bison,
Yeah.
like avocado, and like a few
That could work.
veggies on there, man, you pretty much got
That
it
could
all
work.
right
Yeah, we have McDonald's at home.
there.
Justin,
Speaking of
yes,
McDonald's, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
go.
I was gonna say, speaking of McDonald's at home, my dad used to work at that Marriott hotel actually in Jersey. And so they would have these huge feasts for the athletes and stuff. Literally, nobody would eat it, and they would just throw out all this food in the garbage. I'm talking about a bunch of high quality fillets and all the expensive food. The NFL players would come down and be like, take one bite and walk away, and there would be all this food. So my dad used to keep it and would freeze it. He would take it home. A bunch of employees would do that. So he had this huge freezer, and he would keep all these burgers and shit in it. So anytime we were like, "Can we get McDonald's?" It was like, "Oh, we got McDonald's at home in the freezer." And we're talking about burger patties from like, 5 weeks ago or 5 months ago that you don't want to eat that shit. And I'm like, oh,
Frozen.
this guy,
McDonald's at home.
That's a smart
Yeah,
man right
that-
there, you know. Gotta feed
really,
the family,
really
man.
smart.
You gotta feed the family. That's
Yeah.
good. Justin, you only get one food. What are you picking?
I think I'm going with sushi too.
Sushi.
I
Yeah.
think it's the one food also that I feel good eating after. Performance is good. Like burgers, I don't think I like that. You guys say the McDonald's go through, man. I just feel like that poison, man. Like every time I eat that, man,
Nah, dude.
I just sweat
I
like
trust
crazy.
McDonald's, bro.
I don't absorb that shit at all, man.
Nate,
All right,
did you
Nate,
see what you were
what's
doing?
yours, Nate? Nate has
Well,
something dirty. He can't wait to get it
Yeah,
out.
definitely. Well, I was gonna say that like if we're changing the rules, then we have to say like digestion, we don't have to worry about. You know what I mean? Like we
Fuck
absorb
digestion.
great,
Fuck
blah
digestion.
blah blah. Dude, I could eat a slice of like some cheese pizza every day, honestly.
I like it, bro. I like
Right?
it. Yeah, cheese pizza is underrated.
What I got another one. What's the best thing to do when you're sick? That's the whole question. It's the best thing to do when you're sick.
You just like taking a day off work, you're at home.
Yeah.
Right.
Just fucking lay on the couch.
Depends how sick you are, but yeah, for sure. The best thing to do would be to not go and kill yourself in the gym and just wait it out for at least a day or two. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, usually when you take rest, it's gonna benefit you. It's never gonna hurt you. So
Yeah.
you're not gonna lose gains taking like 3 or 4 extra days off,
And usually those
If
are
you
the times also that we actually do take those days off because it's hard to take it back off when you're in it, but like we usually wait till something goes wrong to take those days off,
Yeah.
If you asked me that question in my early 20s, I would definitely just go to the gym sick as hell and still train exactly the same
Yeah.
for the whole week. But that's not smart because you just stay sick longer for no reason, and you don't have the best workouts. So you're better off taking 3 days off and feeling 100%, or even you feel like 90%, 80%. Then you can go
Yeah.
on the backswing. But it doesn't make sense, and you're not gonna lose gains. Like Justin said, you might actually make more gains because we don't take time off anyways unless something happens.
Yeah, it's a good point. Sometimes when you're sick and you take a few days off, you come back and you're stronger. So
I actually took 3 days off this week and I was like good. It's just I felt tired. But
Yeah.
I haven't done that I don't remember the last time I did that, but it actually the workout when I came back was amazing, but to actually take that back off, like I don't remember the last time I did that. Like when I'm healthy and actually do it, but I was really tired. I felt like my performance was not as good, and I felt my appetite wasn't as good as well. So sometimes there's signs like that are like, you have to listen to, and I think that's people that for us, I think we're able to identify it. I think people that are watching, maybe it's a little bit harder to identify. Am I lazy or is just because I actually do need it?
yeah.
I think too, man, like we're all like addicted to working out. Like we just don't really realize it because we've been doing it for so long. Think about it. Like the gym gets taken away from you for like 5 days, like when you don't expect it. Like you're gonna go crazy. Like you know what I mean? So I think we're just really good. It's like a funny question. It's like someone asked, like, "Hey, I'm really sick. Should I go to the gym?" It's like the obvious answer is no. Only a person who's addicted to the gym has to ask that question.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You need validation, like from someone else, to be like, "It's okay, bro."
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Dude, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Why does Mo remind me of Dusty Hanshaw?
If I haven't got that one before, I've gotten Vin Diesel a lot.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah.
I think the way you talk, maybe something like when I
man.
watch their podcast, you kind of remind me. I don't know why you remind me of something similar.
That's
similar
like one of the
maybe.
only podcasts that I watch consistently. So maybe I'm like taking after Dusty.
Yeah.
Could be happening. That could be happening.
Dusty 2.0.
Yeah, I love Dusty, man. Shout out to Dusty.
Yeah, huge shout out, man.
Yeah.
Big fan. What's the highest NPP dose you or a client have taken, and for how long?
I'm on 450 right now, highest I've ever done.
I've
Yeah.
done 350.
So I never actually did MPP till this, well, technically last year because we're in 2024, till this cycle, this off season. So the reason I've never done it is not because I'm scared of it or anything, but I the couple times I've ran Deca, I got a really bad case of Deca dick, like really bad case of Deca dick.
Yeah.
So I was completely traumatized from that,
Sucks.
and I never ran Deca again. So I'm like, this is short acting Deca, but people tell me no, that doesn't happen on MPP.
No, it
I'm like,
does.
huh?
It does.
So
Of
I'm
course
like,
it can. Of
I
course
probably
it can. Yeah, it's the same thing.
That's the reason why I don't take it anymore. I've taken it. I've
oh, you
taken
see,
just 350, and I just don't handle it well. I
yeah,
love it. It feels good. Like you're strong as shit. Like your
You
new
got to
feels
physique
great.
sacrifice,
is
bro.
awesome.
You got to
But I
It's
sacrifice,
sacrifice.
man. You got to go
Yeah.
without the pussy if you're going to use MPP.
but that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
How bad you want the gains, man?
I'll tell you about sacrifice first. I think I told you. I think Mo, I told you. I don't know if I told this before on the podcast, but my first cycle was 500 milligrams of Deca. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
That's what the
Holy
local
sh-
coach told me to do, and he was coaching a bunch of other pros at the time. So I was just like, okay, dude, that's what I did. So we
Was he
talked.
telling everyone else Cialis at the same time?
I didn't even know what that was at the time.
He was
So
probably just trying to make money off Cialis.
That's
yeah.
I
that's
was in
not
my
good.
first year of university too, or the second year of university, something like that. So you can imagine my sorrows.
Yeah, that's so bad.
You know.
But
I'd
yeah,
rather
but
do like I'd rather do like trend for a short period than do NPP, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the only reason I tried it this offseason is because so usually my cruise period after a cycle is about 8 to 10 weeks on average. You know, if the blood work doesn't look how I want it to, then I'll take longer. So after this prep, my creatinine was creeping up, and it got too close. It was still within range, but too close for for my comfort. I don't want it to get to the black guy range. I want to keep it in the Caucasian range.
Yeah.
So 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 I ended up taking like 14 weeks off cycle. Felt pretty good until like the last 3-4 weeks. Then my joints, bro. Speaking of elbow tendonitis, my fucking joints, knees, and elbows. I couldn't squat. I couldn't do any kind of squat. I would have to do extensions, maybe some lunges, some body weight sissy squats, like real sissy squats, like no weight or anything. So I was like, bro, it's horrible. I got on cycle, but it's not gonna kick in fast enough to help me. So I was like, bro, fuck this. I'm doing MPP. So straight to 300 milligrams per week MPP, and my joints felt great. Now, well, needless to say, I didn't have sex in this in the 3 weeks following this. But on top of that, I've never had gyno before. I don't aromatase. I don't even take estrogen blockers. So off season, zero. I don't take any unless I'm trying to get dry for a show. I got gyno, bro, but it was bad. It was like really bad. And then I'm over here taking estrogen blockers, and I'm like, bro, it's not helping. So I'm like, what if it's prolactin? I took Caber. I'm taking like 0.5 Caber 3 times a week. I tried it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit is expensive. So these are
Yeah.
farm pills we're talking about. The gyno didn't go. I said, bro, fuck this. So I came off the MPP, and the gyno left. And I'm not even taking anti-estrogen. So something about DECA can cause you really bad gyno, even if you're keeping your prolactin and estrogen down. So it's bro, DECA dick and then titties. Like, I can't. I'm not fucking around with this.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking
I'll say
around with this
something
shit
too though
anymore.
about the anti-estrogen. Like I was someone too. Like I was running like 750 tests a week and not taking any like AIs because I wasn't getting gyno. And obviously, like if you can limit AIs, you want to. But I was having ED and I was having anxiety. So I was like, maybe let me try add in some Arimidex in. And as soon as I did, maybe like a week after, like my dick worked great and my anxiety went away. So just
That's
something to be
important.
wary of just people who are watching this. Like just because you don't take an AI and don't get gyno doesn't mean that you don't need it.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I just experienced that myself because during this cruise phase or whatever, I didn't take any AIs. And same thing, like I just started feeling like kind of shitty. And I started taking them again, just some aromasin like 2-3 times a week, and I feel better again. So, I think like the trend of trying to avoid them completely is not the way. You just have to use them in moderation. But yeah, definitely like it depends on the individual too, right? Like like BAIDI, if you're not aromatizing, you don't have any problems from the estrogen, then taking estrogen blockers is going to help, but it'll help me, that's for sure. So you just kind of have
Well,
to.
well, it's funny you say that because even in lab work, my estrogen wouldn't be high, but I definitely was feeling a little bit like a little anxious. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Felt like a little anxious, maybe a little like a little depressed, maybe not like fully depressed, but a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And when I did start taking the Caber and the Adex, that it did go away a
Yeah.
bit.
I think some people
I,
just get a low dose, maybe like
I
like a
think
half a milligram twice a week or something like that, because like that's not really going to affect your cholesterol, I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't in most
Yeah.
people, but it might just keep your estrogen where it should be, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, personally, I like NPP quite a bit. I prefer it over DECA. It's almost the same thing, but like if you have those side effects, you can just get it out faster. So
Yeah.
prefer NPP. I think 350 is a good dose because again, it's like you start ramping that up, you're just going to see more side effects. Not really worth it.
That sounds crazy to me because it doesn't agree with me. It doesn't agree with me. But
Yeah,
even if I did 100, it probably wouldn't agree with me.
Yeah,
I'm seeing really good effects off 450. I'm definitely dealing with like some side effects, but it's funny, like I'm taking 450 and my side effects aren't as bad as when I took
my
like DECA at
goodness.
like 300. Like DECA 300 was way worse than 450 MPP for me.
Yeah,
Holy
Just gotta
shit.
run your test at 2 grams, boys.
that's the way to go.
I could do high test though. I don't get size from test really.
Yeah, me either. I can run really high. Like my test has been as high as 1250 for like 6 weeks, and I had no bad side effects. Just felt like it was
So
shitty.
Test is definitely underrated, man. I mean,
Oh yeah.
people used to say test is best, but now people are preferring Primo over test and whatever, it's just,
Yeah, usually guys who say
uh,
that are pretty big.
yeah. You
I
guys
don't.
ever,
I get that.
you guys ever
Like
use,
hyper.
you guys ever use MK677?
No.
I have.
I have to.
People
I have
love,
to.
to ask about that shit, but it's like, what's better, MK677 or HGH? I mean, that's a silly question to ask. It's such a,
I know that's when people ask me like about that. I'm just like, I just
I
use
just
GH.
don't
I try not to
really.
be rude, but I will tell you that it's just like poor man's GH, but it's not nearly as effective.
No.
Honestly,
No,
the
don't.
reason why I would use it is only for the side effect of
Yep.
being
Appetite.
hungry, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
That's
it.
that's kind of the only point because I mean it won't be as potent as you'll get in HGH and it won't be as pure. So I don't see the point in adding it if the point of it is just to add a growth hormone secretagogue, I don't understand. But if it's like if you're having trouble eating, I mean it could be a good alternative, but I think that's the only reason why I would add it in.
Yeah.
Um.
I'll say this much though, like honestly, I'm like cautious of that kind of stuff because like health, honestly, like you don't know the results of some of that stuff that like you're gonna, and like honestly, I've seen short-term effects pretty quickly with that kind of stuff with like blood pressure, blood sugar like skyrocketing.
yeah.
Like, people are on that stuff. Like, okay, what are we trading off here? You know what I mean? Blood pressure. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign for me. Like, tried and true is what I know. You know?
Funny you say that because I run GH as high as 10 IU sometimes.
Thanks. Yeah.
I'm not recommending that. I'm just saying I
You're
you
in the
know.
club, buddy.
And
That's it.
my blood pressure, my blood glucose are fine. Granted,
Yeah.
I don't eat that many carbs to begin with, but
Yeah.
I did take MK677 to bring my appetite up. My blood glucose shot up. My blood pressure shot up.
Right.
And I'm not getting the effects. It's not like I'm getting growth hormone effects, but I'm getting all the side effects. And even the appetite is probably a side effect. So if you want to get all the side effects of growth hormone, then go ahead and
Yeah.
take the MK. But if
Yeah.
you want the actual benefits from growth hormone, there's no how are you going to replace something that costs $700 for fucking Cerestim, but you can buy it for $7 on some website? It doesn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it
worked
doesn't
I
add up.
worked with a client like fucking probably back in 2019, somewhere around there. And I gave this guy, he didn't want to use gear or whatever, wanted to try some SARMs. So, I gave him some SARMs to use. And he actually got his blood work and his creatinine levels were like his blood work was way worse than if he had just done a cycle. So I was like,
Yeah.
holy fuck. Also, his dick didn't work anymore. There were just so many issues. I'm like,
Right.
I felt so bad that I had helped him kind of get to that point. but I just realized like I'm never ever gonna help anybody use SARMs ever again. Like if you want to do that shit, that's on you. But you know, you're not gonna be doing it with me, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There's no alternative. Either stay natural or
All
do
in,
some gear.
all in or all
Like
out. Like that's how it works, right?
And people
so,
forget testosterone is made in your body. Like testosterone's a natural thing to us. Like it's not like you're like those SERMs are way fucking worse. Like your body doesn't make SERMs. Like you know,
Yeah,
your body,
Yeah.
you put testosterone in your body knows exactly what to do with it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You put SERMs in your
Have,
body, it's like, what the fuck is this shit?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we don't even
have
know,
you
we don't even know the repercussions because they haven't been around that long to really
Yeah.
know. So,
no.
anyways,
Have you ever heard somebody who was serious, really serious about whether being a bodybuilder or gaining muscle who is like, hey man, I want to try some rad 140. Like
yeah,
that's not a thing.
that's what it
If you're
was. Yeah, the Red
serious,
140. Yeah,
if you're serious, you're serious. So when people say that, I'm like, I gotta be honest, stay natural, bro. You know, just stay natural. It's fine. No, but I really wanna. No, you don't. Just stay natural because
Yeah.
this isn't for you if you're gonna do these SARM cycles and stuff. It's just stay
I want the
natural. Like
result of
what?
steroids without doing steroids, without making the
yeah.
sacrifice that come with steroids. That's
I
all I
think
want.
it's like the teenagers that I find are kind of at they're kind of like the ones that are getting the shit end of the stick because they get approached by people that are selling SARMs. It gets touted as something that's, you know, safer than steroids. They feel like that's the best way for them to get, you know, to where they want to go. And it's just like, well, what do you do with that?
Man, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's like a trend amongst these like young broccoli headed kids where they're like injecting their peptides and like their L-carnitine like on their Instagram and shit. Like
Really?
they're like all cool. Like I saw one guy had like a bottle of peptide on like each finger. He was like flashing it and then like
Ooh,
taking his little sub Q injections. And I'm like,
hardcore.
man, I want to put an 18 gauge right in your quad, bro. Like let you feel this shit. Let you really feel what this can feel like. See how
Mhm.
cool you think fucking needles are.
Yeah, I know. That's it's weird that it's getting so glorified. I'm not a big fan of certain people's channels who are just like the entire thing is just about them injecting steroids. That's their entire shtick. I
Such a
mean,
cry for attention, bro.
yeah, I mean it's just kind of sad. But anyways, let's do one more
That
and then we'll head off because I gotta fucking piss.
Make it a good one.
Yeah, oh, this is a good one. Why are calves so damn hard to grow compared to the rest of the body? Is it purely genetics? Thank you.
oh
What
man,
is what?
Life.
calves.
Yeah.
Calves? Oh,
It's not really a good question, is it? Should I do a
That's a
different one?
terrible question, bro. What like have something better than that.
All right,
Um,
this is one from a listener who really wanted to answer this one. Advice or tips on someone who's competing at their first national show.
oh
You want to go first, Beatty?
yes, I'm probably the perfect one to answer this question because I got dead last at my first USA's. Um, no, I don't think I got dead last, but once to me, once I don't get first call out, I'm like, I might as well be fucking last place. Like, you know what
Yeah, I
I'm
think
saying?
we're
At least
all
in my head.
trying.
So,
100%.
Yeah,
so I think I think you have to manage your expectations and also understand that you're never as good as you think you are. Okay. There's levels to this. Just because at that point, I was any local show I did, I was gonna win it. Right. Cool. That's nice. But there's a big gap between local shows and national level, especially as if you're in the higher weight classes. You know, maybe if you're a middleweight, lightweight, and you're winning overalls, you're probably gonna win the nationals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you're at, light, heavy, heavyweight, super, you need a lot of muscle, a lot more than you think you have. So actually, have a coach that's gonna be honest with you. You don't want a yes man coach that's just gonna, you got it, let's do it. You want to really know where you lie to the point that if you tell this coach, "Am I ready?" He's gonna give you a real answer. Yes, you're ready, or no, we're not ready yet. Or we might be in the mix for possibly first call out. I believe if you're gonna spend all that money and make that investment, you should know for sure that you're gonna be in the mix for the title one. That doesn't mean you're gonna win because you're not a judge, but for sure you have the goods to contend for that title. That's when I feel like you should do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna take years, man. It's not one of those things that just because this guy got his pro Beef Stew won his first try. You ain't Beef Stew, I'll tell you that much. You're not Beef Stew. And even Stew, he didn't have any expectations. he knew he had enough muscle and enough conditioning to be in contention, but Stu didn't think he was going to win by any mile. He just, let's see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So same with Joe. I know Joe knew he had the goods, but you know, he was going in there knowing that I'm going to be in contention, and that was that. So I think that's the best advice that I can give. Make sure you're ready for that level before you move up. Just because you qualify is not a reason to do nationals. You know,
Yep.
so
It's a good
Yeah,
point.
keep
I think
banging
that's
away at
good.
the amateur shows, maybe, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, keep getting experience, because one thing I will say, the way I think you become a better bodybuilder and a high level bodybuilder, I think this is crucial, because a lot of guys have this mindset these days of like, oh, I'm not going to compete until I'm ready. But that doesn't mean you can stay in a bulk for fucking 5, 6 years. Like, you need to get lean to improve. So sometimes getting shredded for a show completely resets your insulin sensitivity, makes you like a dry sponge. You rebound properly out of that show. You do another off season. You gain more muscle than you've ever had. You cut again, and like you repeat that process. That's how you become better. So it's okay to do that and just get better at posing, get better at your presentation on the amateur level. And then after you've maybe, won your class a couple times and got an overall, have 3 or 4 years in the game. And then like, Beatty said, then go to the national level when you're at least going to be a contender. Because then because it's a wake up call, man. Your first nationals, like, you go there, like, you're full of confidence, like, because you just won your local show or whatever. And then you get backstage and you're just like, shit. Like, you lost the show right there, and you know it, right? So you're more than likely going to have that experience. But again, what's going to separate people is, I mean, we all know guys who went to the nationals once. They were like a local bodybuilding, like, hot shit, get their asses kicked at nationals, and you never see them again. Right. So
Right.
it's how you're going to take that defeat and what you're going to do with it. That's really going to determine if eventually you're going to maybe win nationals and go further than that. Right.
Imagine spending all that money. You got your family there, you paid for your girlfriend's ticket, all that, and then you're standing there in the lineup waiting to be fucking your number called, and you just fucking standing there for like 5 minutes. It's not a good feeling. Everybody
Wow.
going on, and you see your family sit down, and they kind of like, oh shit, and you just fucking standing there like, you don't want to be that guy, bro. I've been that guy. You don't want to be that guy.
What advice would you give someone, Nate? First national show.
I mean, they covered a lot of ground, honestly, but
Yeah.
I mean, I would try to stay off social media as much as you can,
That's a
honestly.
good one. Yeah.
Especially like at the national level. For me, there was a lot of more social media mental fuckery, if you will, when I was on the amateur national level. Whereas like pros, it's like I know everyone's fucking crazy, insane. Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't bother you, I guess, at this level, because everyone's genetics are so much different. But like at the amateur level, it was just like, especially being in contention like year after year, it was like there was a lot of competitive. Like every person I was going up against, it was like, you know what I mean? Like it was very competitive. So
Yeah.
it definitely made a difference at the national level, I would say more so. And I think that especially, I don't know how it is in Canada, but in the States, it definitely gets like sort of like that, you know what I mean? Within like the top guys, so
Yeah.
social media definitely can mess with you, because guys will obviously look insane on social media, right? And then like I remember my first year, like one of the guys I was like worried about ended up getting 7th, you know what I mean? He didn't even end up winning. And the guy that won was like no one was even talking about, right? So
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. Same thing happened with me. I was worried about Dorian's guy, just Joey Pianca.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And he ended up getting 3rd place. Yeah. You know how I knew I had him? Because he was sitting backstage. He had like he was eating a muffin. The other half of the muffin was like on his chest, and he was like passed out. I'm like, yo, I got this guy.
Just watching
If
them
you're in
spill
a
over.
Yeah,
if you're in a
exactly.
food coma,
Yeah, he was in a
food
food
coma
coma. I'm
backstage.
like, yeah, too many carbs.
Yeah, actually, funny. Like I remember being backstage, and like before I won my pro card, I was literally just like on the floor, fully clothed, until like right before they told us to get ready to go on stage. And I remember just watching other guys in my division and like in the class below me, just like in their posing trunks, walking around, eating rice cakes, like taking drinks of water, like having conversations. And I was like, these guys, I'm like watching these guys get worse. Like
Yeah,
they're like getting softer, like every minute that goes by, that they're just not relaxing and focusing on like what's happening here, right?
Mm.
And
good point.
so yeah, don't be like that. Follow your plan and relax until you get on stage, for sure.
What advice
Bro,
would you give? What advice would you give, Justin?
Well, I think there was a lot of good points, and I think it really depends on what your expectations are. If you're like, we're very competitive, right? So we're going because we wanted to win nationals, but I know some people are just going for the experience. So if that's the case, then fine, you can go do nationals, but you have to expect that you're competing against the best bodybuilders in your country, and
Yeah.
even if you're a good guy, good bodybuilder, like I've done before I got into open, I was in classic, and the first nationals I did, I almost won my pro card, but it took me 5 more years until I actually got it.
Yeah.
So every year I was winning my class, losing in the overall, like every year. And eventually I got it, but I mean, it doesn't mean that you're a guy that obviously every regional show I would go into, I would have won, right? But it's
Yeah.
it's just keep going and keep like showing up if that's what you want, and like you have to be able to face defeat because you're going to lose a lot more than you're going to win for sure.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I'll follow that up by just saying you want to set a goal then besides just winning your pro card, because
Yeah,
that's the obvious outcome, right? But what
yeah,
what do you have control over? Like if you've competed, well, obviously you're doing a national show, you've competed before, so make a goal to have better conditioning, make a goal to have X amount of stage weight, make another goal that you can say, hey, maybe if I didn't win the pro card, so I'm not so disappointed, I can still be proud of the fact that I accomplished XYZ goals that I set out for. Because I think, like you guys were saying, that expectation is crucial. Because you're just going to your first national show expecting pro card or nothing, and you don't get it, you're going to be disappointed.
for sure.
And it might leave a bad taste in your mouth. But if you can go in there again with maybe less expect. I mean, when I did when I did the pro qualifier, I expected to win. I think we should expect to win if that's the goal. But I only expected to win because I knew that I put in the amount of effort. So the thing you have to check yourself, because when you're going from the level of the amateur, now you're trying to become a pro, they're going to judge you even harder than before because there's going to be better competition. You got to be ready at that point. You got to be ready to step on a pro stage. That's kind of what I thought, is that by the time I get to the pro qualifier, I should be able to go and step on a pro stage the next day, because I did that. And that's what I was thinking about. Like, I got to be ready for that. That's the next logical step. So
Bro, that's my biggest fear, like Justin said, and I know it happened to Nate. Like being in the mix year after year after year, fourth and then second and then third. Oh my God, that shit is because, bro, you, regardless of the placing, you put so much work into it, bro, every year, and the sacrifices. That shit scares me, bro. My friend Zay, that's on my podcast. I've seen that happen to him every year. Oh, fourth, third, second. Oh, second again. So when Zayd won, I was crying backstage when I heard it, and I'm crying to myself, and this is somebody else, but because I was literally there and I kept seeing it happen, and he's so humble, he takes it so well, but I know deep down that shit is like fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he told me before, he was like, bro, what if I'm one of those guys who just never get it? I'm just always in the mix,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
don't say that shit, bro. You
That's the
don't get
worst
it, but
thought.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
worst
I
thought.
mean, like,
Yeah.
as much as we say expectation, it is very hard to like when you know you're that guy, and like, look, every show when you're at that point, every show that you do, people around you are like, this is your year. Like every year it's your year. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's hard to like you get on stage, you're like, fuck, I almost got it again.
Yeah. The
Almost
more,
got
just
it.
like the more you believe it, and
Yeah.
everybody else believes you, like, I got this. And then when you don't,
Like,
you're
you
like, what
got
the
this.
fuck?
And even backstage
bro.
sometimes, you're backstage, people come to see you, hey man, shake your hand. They're like, yeah, you got this. And then there's this other guy that just shows up and it's really close and you lose that time, and especially
Facts,
nationals.
fuck.
It's not like, pro shows, you get a pro show almost every week when it's the season. Nationals, there's once a year, maybe twice a year, that you get a chance to like show up. So if you don't get it that year, well, you're waiting another year, and then you're gonna try it again. But when
And
you're just on that line, sometimes it's just missing that little one thing. And I actually lived it in Toronto. We spoke it before. Like I I thought I was going in and I was gonna win, and I didn't get it in Toronto, and thankfully I got it in Vancouver. But like it was the same thing. It was, you're the guy, you're winning this year, and then it's just not enough. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you're serious about this, you got to take it on the chin for sure.
Yeah. There's like a certain
all
level of emotional maturity that you need to deal with a
Yeah,
loss like that.
yeah,
Because you don't have control
my-
over it. So, right? It's like nothing you could have done better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bro, all my friends are pro. All the friends that came up, everybody I know that came up with, they're pro. So I'm like the odd man out now, right? And it's like it's to the point that people just assume I'm pro because everybody else probably like, yeah, oh, you're not pro yet. I'm like, I want to talk about it, bro. I want to talk about it.
Well, you know what they say. It's like, the five people closest to you, you're going to be the next one. So just a matter of time, bro. Just a matter of time. You know that.
Just keep getting better. That's all you can do. You
Yeah.
can't control anything else.
For sure. Well, on that note, we went on for a little while, so I'm gonna go get some food, go piss. You guys probably all need to eat. Baby, you've been on podcast for like 16 hours today, or what?
Yeah, I didn't train. I still haven't trained, bro.
Oh,
My fucking
shit.
ass. I got like fucking seat burns on my ass. I got rash on my butt cheeks and shit. But it's all worth it.
Nah, well,
I'm
we
gonna make it
appreciate you
happen.
coming on, man. We appreciate you
No,
coming on for sure. Good times.
thank you guys.
Nate,
Appreciate you
as
having me.
always, we'll talk soon, guys. Thank you guys so much for
All right.
watching. We'll see you in the next one. All right.
Bye, guys.
Boys.